Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at top 10 cores again, part number 2 here for the Open Great League. And today we're going to have Pokemon that I'm mainly interested in, Pokemon that maybe are a little bit underrated. We had like the top meta Pokemon already in the first part, so here we have a little bit of a different approach towards it all. We're going to take a look at some more especially fun Pokemon, which is going to be something that especially in the first week of the season, where nothing is competitive, would be kind of something that maybe people are more interested in. At least I'm more interested in. And so this helps me also to kind of look into Pokemon I want to showcase so on the channel and how to build teams with them. So yeah, again, here today we're going to take a look at 10 different Pokemon that got buffed this season and which Pokemon kind of works best with them for you to team build your own team around. You only need like a sales up in between or something like this. We're going to talk about anyway during those different pairs. So yeah, let me know down below what else you want to see for the season. This is going to be it for the top calls for sure. We're going to have definitely some top teams coming up very, very soon, so definitely stay tuned for that one. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe and we can move on to the first core. We're gonna start off with Torkoal, and I think this Pokemon might be underrated depending on how PvPoke is, not PvPoke, how Niantic or Scopely is going to decide what Flame Wheel is going to be. Flame Wheel currently is very, very bad in code. This move is gonna get buffed in terms of the damage, and it also gonna get an decrease basically of energy that you need for it. We just don't know how much the decrease is going to be. PvPoke currently has 50 energy in it. I think it might be 45 energy, which I think makes more sense for this Pokemon as well. And if it's 45 energy, this Pokemon all of a sudden going to be way, way better, because then Ember is going to most likely, we don't actually know the stats for Ember yet either, but it's very likely going to be 4 damage and 9 energy. Emma will be allowing you to get to the Flame Wheel after just 5 usage, which would make this Pokemon 20 times better than is showcased here right now. So basically what you see currently is mostly not what the Torkoal actually going to be. I also don't really like the move Overheat on, even though it's recommended. I think that either Earthquake in order to deal with Bastion is going to be cool, or that the move Solar Beam is going to be very cool on this Pokemon as well. I would mostly personally not go for Overheat, especially if Flame Wheel is the way I expect it to be. But thing with this Pokemon, it's going to be Venusaur. Venusaur is going to be a Pokemon that is going to work out really, really well with this thing. Especially if you're going to run Torkoal with Solar Beam, you can run something like a Venusaur Elite, have a good closer for it in the back, and then have Torkoal as a save swap. Like even have like Charizard in the back or something, or even have Charizard as a save swap and have Torkoal in the back then. Something like this all should kind of work out quite well. Venusaur going to be able to counter those weaknesses of Water and Rock from this Pokemon, as you can hit them with super effective damage. The only real weakness for this core are going to be Dragon type Pokemon, which are going to be quite common, but like yeah, that's the big issue for Elemental core, which we're going to try to have here right now. It's just going to be Dragon types. That's why Dragon types are so good, because they can resist all of the elemental types: Electric, Fire, Grass, and Water. Next core here, we're going to have Fearow. Fearow is a Pokemon that's kind of overlooked as well. A lot of people don't really like it. I think in the Go Battle League it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be too great in the Show 6 Pick 3 format. But in the Go Battle League, I think that Fearow has a lot of play. Especially thanks to the move Drill Peck and Drill Run. Drill Run is going to be giving you great coverage. Drill Peck is going to give you a cheap, very hard-hitting flying type stab move, making Fearow interesting together with the Gastrodon. Gastrodon is going to be a very good Pokemon here as well together with this thing, because what we'll see here is that this thing together is going to kind of counter all of the Pokemon that you want to counter. The worst Pokemon to counter is Credilli, which is the only like grass type Pokemon that can really deal with flying type Pokemon. I guess Arbamaster is going to be very difficult as well for this team. The rest I feel like is definitely manageable. Like even Dragonite is going to be okay for Fearow, Primeape is going to be okay. Just all of those Pokemon are going to be quite alright. And so yeah, I think this is going to be a very, very cool core, and it should be working out super well for you as well. Crustle, a Pokemon that people don't really talk about, but a Pokemon that has access to a Rock Wrecker, which is going to make it such an interesting Pokemon, might actually pair quite well with Annihilape. Annihilape is going to be a Pokemon that is going to have access to Ice Punch, which allows you to also have like flying type coverage again. And Crustle is going to be able to cover up the weakness against flying type Pokemon as well, which is going to be kind of cool for it. Generally speaking, they kind of work well together. Only real weakness here, I guess, is going to be those Ghost types, as you can see as well with other Annihilapes or Jellicent. But the rest should be kind of fine here, and I do think that Crustle is going to be a fun Pokemon to run. Not broken by any means, but definitely a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be a great core with the Annihilape. Torterra is going to be next. Honestly, my favorite starter from that generation. I like it more than Empoleon as well as the Infernape. Sorry, I know it's like mostly an unpopular opinion. And with this, I also kind of want to talk about today's question. What is your favorite starter type Pokemon? For me, it's going to be Greninja, but let me know down below which evolution line there is going to be the one that you like the most. I think Froakie is really, really cool as well. So like Froakie, Greninja. Those two Pokemon I really, really enjoy a lot, so that's going to be definitely my answer here. But again, Torterra would be kind of very close to the top as well. This is like the Pokemon that actually started my first like real Pokemon journey in Diamond and Pearl, so it kind of grew to me. I really liked it, and now it got buffed with Mud Slap on it, which is kind of cool. And we kind of want to pair it with Dedenne. Dedenne is going to be able to cover up the flying type weakness that you have here clearly with the moveset that you have with Phantom Frenzy Plant. As well as Dedenne is going to be weak itself for poison as well as ground type Pokemon, which you can beat with a Torterra. So this is actually a perfect comp. Like there's not really a lot of Pokemon that can really deal with it. Even Credilli doesn't want to face those Mud Slaps. So yeah, I guess the worst Pokemon for you is Amamas now, and that's kind of it. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very good call for the upcoming season. I think that especially, of course, the Dedenne is going to be great, but Torterra has a lot of play against the current meta as well. Jirachi is going to be next, a Pokemon that I already talked so much about. I think it's going to be one of the best Pokemon, kind of that you want to have here for sure. And we can pair it together with the Gyarados. This is going to work out really, really well here. Gyarados is going to be able to cover up the weakness of ground and fire of Jirachi, while Gyarados' weakness of electric and rock. Yeah, I guess rock you're going to be able to resist with the Jirachi, and you have Aura Sphere for it. It's kind of an alright pairing. I think it's going to be a very cool pairing as well. Yeah, Jirachi is going to be good against Dragon type Pokemon. We have the Say Sop here with Dragon Breath on it, even though it's not a Dragon type. If you're going to have like something like a Guzzlord in the lead, you're mostly going to need something very, very good against in the back, but you can use the Gyarados as a Say Sop there, which would be really cool. So I think it's going to be a very, very good core, and I think that Gyarados is going to have a lot of play in the upcoming season. Nidoqueen is going to be next. It's going to be very similar to Torterra, getting access to Mud Slap, but here this Pokemon is going to rely on the Poison Fang, which is going to be very, very cool in the two shields, not so much in the 0-1s, which you see here right now, but it pairs quite well with Greninja, and I think it's kind of one of the main benefit of it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting Pokemon here nonetheless, and the Mud Slap buff definitely going to help quite a bit there. Dartrix is going to be next here. This little owl going to have also a little bit of a typing change. The evolution is going to be Ghost and Grass. This is going to be a flying and grass type Pokemon, which is going to help it out quite a bit with having double stab on here, Seed Bomb as well as Brave Bird, as well as of course on the pack. So this makes it just a little bit easier for Dartrix to perform well. And also, you're going to have the X2 pack, which we don't know if it's actually as good as it seems, but even if it isn't as good, we have X2 Leafage, which is going to be definitely a Shadow Claw clone the next season. So yeah, like this is going to be kind of something that is going to be very, very cool, or it's going to be stronger than that, which I doubt it. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here, and Dartrix itself is very good. Together with Stunfisk, you're going to have a very good core that's only going to have the weakness, of course, of Ice-type Pokemon. The rest should be kind of covered quite well. And yeah, with that, we are going to be able to move on to the next one, where Meowscarada is going to wait for us. This Pokemon is going to be an interesting one as well, because it is going to be having an average rating of 510 here right now, and it's going to be a very, very strong Pokemon with the buffed Leafage. That buffed Leafage is going to make it really cool, very spammy with that Night Slash, only needing 5 fast moves there, and then 4 actually for the second one now. When that's changed, and yeah, Frenzy Plant also going to appreciate quite a bit the extra energy there. As you can see here, we're going to have the Clodsire here as well as a very good Pokemon. Yeah, basically they can work together with it. We're going to see a breakers of like Regidrago, Corviknight, Clodsire, Venusaur. That's not too bad to be fair. And so yeah, we're going to be able to move on now to the next one. I think it might be the second to last one, Aegislash. I think that Aegislash is going to be super, super underrated. I think it's going to be a Pokemon that's going to be super, super good for the upcoming season. And so we're going to pair it here together with Guzzlord. I think Guzzlord and the Aegislash together are working super, super well. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great pairing there for sure. But as you're going to see as well, the breaker for this team is going to be the own Guzzlord. They did it a little bit, but again, it's all about the Aegislash energy. We don't really know on what the move is going to be there, on how the Gyro Ball is going to change this Pokemon. I think, yeah, if Gyro Ball is below 50 energy, it's going to be a good move to have on this one. Otherwise, you want to go for the other one there. And I think this is going to be the last one. It's going to be the Galarian Stunfisk. I'm very certain it's the last one. Maybe actually at this one, not too sure. This Pokemon is going to be very well paired with Corsola. Corsola having great coverage against yeah, basically what you can beat there as well with the Rock Slide. We have Power Jump, of course, on the core side, which is going to be very, very cool. And so, yeah, this is going to be kind of it for this one. Guzzlord is going to be a bit tricky, but still kind of manageable. Yeah, I think it's a very good team though. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then.